All right, welcome. Hey, and by the way, this we did a live webinar last night that rocked on tripling your sponsoring and doing it in your home business, working part-time hours. And I'm a goof. I forgot to hit the record button. So I'm gonna do something crazy. I'm gonna redo it right now. In fact, I'm redoing it. So if you're getting this, this is the condensed version of that. But I want to make sure you get all the information that you need because it was powerful. And I want to show you how to triple your sponsoring. And I want to show you how to do it differently than anybody else. And here's why. Because I want you to do it on condensed time frame. And there is a way to do it. My wife and I are living proof of that. We've been building for over 20 years in the home-based business industry. And it was many years ago when we were at a very low point in our life financially. We were building home businesses prior to that for many years. Even though we were making six figures, we were burnt out. And because the company we were with went out of business and we overspent all our money we ever made, we were at a point we never thought we'd be in our late 20s. We were broke, we were afraid, and we were burnt out. We did not want to do network marketing anymore. We did not want to build teams. I did not want to answer one more question from one more person on my team because my old system was based on bondage, burnout, babysitting, hand-holding, and I was the bottleneck in my team. You know, systems are duplicatable, people say. Oh my gosh, what's the saying? Systems are duplicatable, people aren't. But I will tell you that everybody thinks they have a system, and until you are completely fried, burnt out, and you want to know one sign you're on track to be a statistic when it comes to being burned out in your network marketing business, even if you're brand new, here's a sign. If you're thinking about your business while you're working, and when you're not working, and when you're having happy time with your spouse, if you're married, and when you're when you're sleeping, you're potentially on track for burnout. Now I know maybe your first 60, 90, 120 days you're excited. That's normal. But if you've been doing it month in, month out, and soon year in, year out, and you're thinking about your business, you're consumed by your business, and even if you're not working it, you're thinking about it, which I'm telling you is harder than manual labor. You want to know what's harder than manual labor? Harder than doing construction or just physical labor all day? Thinking about your business, analyzing your business. And we're going to talk about today how to get rid of that, triple your sponsoring. And also, I want to tell you this. I'm putting links here below. If you have not registered for the 60-Day Academy, I'm telling you, you will be kicking yourself. I have never in 20 years put together a course that is so step-by-step on what it takes to be the absolute best that you can be for you, but more importantly, the best that you can be for your team members. And look, if money is an issue, it won't be if you take action on this 60-Day Academy. And I've taken away all the excuses and made it a 3 payment options. So for basically $100 in something, a little bit over $100, you can actually start. We have a payment plan that you can make payments so you can get yourself registered. Look, it's going to be live, interactive, 7 classes over the month of September and October, the prime months. All right, but let me dive in right now, and I'm going to hold on really tightly. You might not have enough time to take notes because I want to help you triple your sponsoring on part-time hours and give you the big meat and potatoes of what that takes. So here's the first thing. And oh, by the way, my wife and I, after using these strategies, when we got over being broke and burnout, had our cars repossessed, our kids going, Daddy, where are they taking our cars? Was the moment I said, I'm going to crush it in business. And I'm going to do it while having freedom. I'm going to do it while being able to enjoy my family more than ever before. I'm going to find higher qualified people. I'm going to sponsor them in less time. And I'm going to teach my team how to be duplication machines. And here's where it all starts. Do you ever wonder why you sponsor good people and they don't do anything? You want to know why? It's not because they don't know what to do. It's not because they don't know the step-by-steps. It's not because you don't have good getting started training in your company. It's because you've got to do something, and you've got to learn and understand that the reason why people don't do anything in your home-based business, or maybe you're stuck right now, is you've got to crush all the myths, the lies, the excuses, the fears, the doubt, the worry, the egos. Like one of them is you need a better system, right? After this webinar, and for sure after the 60-Day Academy, and for sure if you join me at our first ever live event in Chicago, you will never be able to say you don't have a system, because I have a system that's proven, that's simple, and it works. And you don't need to sit there for a year or months and try to think about all these perfect system, right? Here's how I know here's how I know that my clients that I do one-on-one, I know that they're stuck, is when they're trying to create a system that's going to help their team explode their check. Now, I know from that makes sense to do, but the reality is there's a much simpler way to do it by just adopting something that already works, okay? All right, here's another myth. You need a better presentation for to share with prospects, or my area is saturated, or why should I sponsor anybody new if I personally haven't succeeded before? All of that is not true. All those are myths, and I'm going to tell you that you don't need to be thinking about that. And there's so many more. This is just literally scratching the surface. So here's the thing. People always say, well, what do I do? How do I do it? How do I get duplication going? What do I do right now? I'm going to give you the bottom line. You may have seen this before, but I'm going to give you 3 things in less than 3 minutes. 3 of my steps in less than 3 minutes that literally was the answer to being burnt out, was the solution for crazy duplication. And it's literally how I sponsored 500 people in 1 year, because I kept it so simple. And all I learned how to do is get good at, number 1, connecting with good people. And I learned how to do it with either A, people that I know, or B, people that I don't know. So when people always ask you this question, for the rest of your career, I'm going to give you one sponsoring tip right now. When a prospect says to you, who do I talk to? You never say, well, you put together a list of warm market, or you buy cold leads, or you learn how to be an internet marketing guru. No, all those things are good and they may be true, but people, if you fill people's head with information about your product too much, the ingredients, how great your company owner is, how powerful your compensation is, how all the details of what makes your team different from a training and all the different ways that they can build a business. If you're filling the human brain, that prospect, with too much, they're going to say things like, I need to think about it. They're going to do things like not show up to your presentation. Even if it's a friend, they're going to get so much information, they're going to prejudge. You're killing curiosity. So when people say to me, how do I find people to market these products of yours or service? How do I find people to do the business? I tell people, once you get started, we have a training program that fits how you want to build your business. And we show you how to do it with either A, people you know, or B, people you don't know. But there's many different ways that you can find qualified people that are interested in our product or service. So that's one example of the right way to say it without filling their head with too much information. Number 2, after you learn to connect strategically, and let me just share something with you. After the 60-Day Academy, you're not just going to be good at sponsoring, at connecting. You're not just going to be great at it. If you take action, you should be exceptional. I'm talking Michael Phelps, or getting to that level of knowing at least the framework, the ingredients, the process of how to be a professional when it comes to connecting with great qualified people. No more begging people to join your business. No more thinking that you're the one that needs them to join you. No, it's vice versa. You're the one with the greatest business vehicle in America and Canadian and around the world today. So you need to get good at connecting people and then sending them to a great, simple presentation with your company, and then learning my 5 steps of how to build momentum and be assumptive to be able to enroll more people. And if you do these 3 things 75% of the time, to 80 to 90% of the time, you will be a sponsoring machine. Now, is it really that simple? Yes. Is it easy? Heck no. It's not easy. Learning how to connect with human beings people that are going through spousal challenges, or that are having financial problems, or that are tired of their boss, or that are in a comfort zone, or that have a big ego, or that talk too much or talk too little, or don't think they can do this kind of business. Learning how to connect, learning how to find the needs, the strengths, and the goals of your prospect, learning how to listen with really good connection ears, learning how to have the confidence but being nice, learning how to get them to like you and trust you without schmoozing and bugging them, learning how to get them involved without being a sales type person. That is not easy. Calling them, reading a script, easy, simple. Anybody can do that. And the cool thing about your company and our industry is you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. That's why you don't need to be an expert to start connecting, sharing, and starting. But why not collapse months, if not years, by learning how to be the best so you can triple your sponsoring by doing 3 things that I just shared with you right now. All right, so, and then you'll learn how to sort people. That is key, learning how to follow up like a professional. And then, of course, how to train. And then guess what you do tomorrow? This over and over. And guess the next day, the next week, over and over and over. So I'm going to share with you something that is probably the most profound thing to help you triple your sponsoring, is if you understand one thing, that you are in the best business model in the world for you. Maybe not for your best friend, maybe not for your family members, but I'm telling you, if you are listening to me right now watching this, if you are in a home-based business, a network marketing, direct sales, building teams, marketing products, call it what you want, if you are in this industry, you are called to be here. Stop fighting it. You are called to be here. Stop fighting it. Now, I know a lot of you, if you're in this industry, one of the lies, the myths, the excuses, the self-sabotages is, oh man, what are my friends going to think? Or, you know, I had a prospect tell me last week that this is not as, you know, reputable as being a mortgage banker or being in any other industry. Look, if you're here, you are in the most powerful multi-billion-dollar industry in this world that is only getting cleaned up and being more professional. It's getting more regulation, which is going to make it refined. And a lot of the companies that are not strong are going to go away, yes. But your company and the way that you conduct business and is going to be very professional. So you are in a model that changes and transforms people's lives like it has mine. And when you finally just realize that there are millions upon millions of other people that need you to just get over the fear and the doubt and all the self-sabotaging things that you think about this industry, maybe it doesn't come across verbally, but in the back of your mind, you're thinking about it. I'm telling you, when you finally just realize that you're in a professional business, and let me just put it this way. What other industry in the world can you be in where you can share products and services and sponsor people in the business to share products and services? And it compounds and it ripples into a multiple duplication compensation system where you get the leverage of not just you, not just 1 or 2 people, but 10 to 20 to 100 and maybe even 1,000 plus people, where you can have the earning power on hundreds, if not thousands, of great people that have partnered with you in this crusade, this business, your products, your services, where they can transform their lives. So this is the best business model in the world. You're in the best company in the world for you and for the people that you're connecting with on the phone. I don't know how else to say that. So you want to, here's the biggest thing to tripling your sponsoring. I will tell you without a shadow of a doubt that almost all of you, especially the ones that I've been coaching with over many years, a lot of my team members, including myself and my wife, we have been taking a lot of our energy and just wasting it. I think of wasted time and energy like I'm literally stealing from my wife, my kids, my health, and my ministry, and just being able to live and have fun and have some freedom and do other things other than wasting so much energy doing the wrong things to duplicate with your team, training your team with too much information and too much handle. And without going into extreme detail, if you are not prospecting and sponsoring 75 to 80% of the time, you're most likely pretending you're building systems, trying to figure out how to master the internet, trying to figure out how to build your blog and brand, which again is good. I do it, but it could take months, if not years, to do that. And again, I'm not saying that don't do those things, but you've got to do what produces the most fruit in the shortest period of time, period. And that is learning how to sponsor and how to prospect now effectively, not just half-heartedly. That is the absolute most important thing that you can do for your business. And there's a difference between prospecting and sponsoring daily. When I understood this principle, this law, this truth, it changed my life, because I am here to tell you that most people in your company and most people in this industry, they become professional at sponsoring. Let me give you an example, the difference. Because I know a lot of you, again, are doing this. A lot of your team members for sure are doing this, where you make a few calls and you make some calls, maybe 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5 people for the day or more, and maybe you get a result, maybe you don't. The next day, you're like, okay, I'm going to call some more people. The next week, you'll call some more people. The next week, you'll connect with some more people on text or Facebook or social media or whatever you do. So you're in the motion of going through the process of one day you're going to bring some people in. You set some goals and you're kind of going through the process of working, of calling, of connecting. And some of you may be saying, well, isn't that what we're supposed to do? Yes. But the difference between going through the numbers or dialing for dollar or making the calls or making the connections compared to sponsoring daily is the difference between doing the work, which is prospecting, compared to today, I'm going to have the focus, the mindset, that if I'm going to work my business today, I am going to sponsor you, period. I am going to get an action. So when I changed my mindset to doing my best daily, to even if I only had 2 hours a day, or even if you only have 2 hours a day, or 5 hours a week, or 7 hours a week, that if you're going to work today, that you're going to sponsor someone. Now, does that mean that you have to sponsor someone? Or, some of you are like, you might be thinking, well, I haven't sponsored anybody this whole month. How in the world do you expect me to sponsor daily? What I'm saying is if you don't think that you're going to sponsor today, if you don't think that you're going to find someone great for your business today, the day that you're working, you're just going to pretend, you're going to make excuse, you're going to lie to yourself, you're going to stay in a comfort zone, you're going to maybe put some effort into doing some things that you think are going to maybe get you to sponsor someone, but you're just most likely pretending. Now, does that mean you can't sponsor people by just going through the motions? Of course you can. Why? Because you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. And this industry has been built on casual, ultra part-time building. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's who you want to be. I want an army of people that are just kind of going through the motions, sponsoring 1 or 2 people here, maybe 1 or 2 people next year, maybe 4 or 5 people the next year, maybe 10 people within the next year. I want a bunch of people doing a little bit of work. But I would rather have a few of you, if you were on my team, I would rather have you be at your best possible daily. And that is, if you're going to work, why not get it done? And I'm telling you, I don't. It doesn't matter if you think you can't sell or you can sell or you've never been successful. I'm telling you, I just wish I could reach through this video right now. Ooh, that's kind of weird, huh? But I just wish I could just instill. I wish I could download the confidence in some of you right now that you may be saying to yourself, oh, man, I've been struggling. I've been frustrated. Maybe you've not succeeded. I'm telling you, all of that, all the past can be completely different from your future if you understood what I'm sharing with you right now. Because sponsoring 2 people per week is just as simple as sponsoring 2 people per month when you're strategic, when you get rid of the fear, when you crush the doubt, when you don't make it the excuses, when you stop listening to the lies, and you literally just get in motion of if I'm going to work today, I'm going to make it happen for me, for you, for my family, for my goals, for my future. You know, I was talking about it on the webinar last night, and I was going like this, right? I don't know about you, but I'm getting some gray hairs. Pretty soon, no matter how old you are, you're going to get some wrinkles on your, you know, and some dimples and some grays, because we are not getting younger. We are not going to be here forever, right? You were born for a purpose. Getting too excited. I got to take a breath. But I just want to tell you something. You and I and we were born for a very specific purpose. The way you are, the way you look, the way your personality is, the way that you're calling, you were born for a purpose. And part of that is most likely to be either in your home business for a refinement period, for a sharpening. Man, I was listening to a billionaire, some video last night that said, it was Heidi Baker, a missionary that I love to follow. She's one of the most unbelievable missionaries in the world, and she said all of the extreme pain, all of the guns that were pulled on her in Africa, all of the beatings that she took, all of the challenges and the brokenness. She says all of that was specifically supposed to happen to make her the kind of leader and the kind of strength that she has only by being put through that much fire. So sponsoring 2 people per week is just as simple as 2 people per month, and it can be just as simple as sponsoring 2 people per year. But you've got to be intentional. You've got to treat this just as you got to treat what you're doing here as just as important as any other career you've ever had, any other sport you've ever played, any other business that you've ever been a part of, anything else you've ever done in life, except for maybe a faith or other, family. But when it comes to career, this is just as important or more important. So you've got to step up and become not good, not great, but the best. All you can do is the best that you can do. All you can be is the best that you were called to be. All you can do is train like you are just as good as Michael Phelps in the Olympic, or any other Olympic athlete, or any other successful entrepreneur in the world, and just focus on being the best connector, the best person that sends people the messages, and the best at reaching through the phone, reaching through the video, reaching face to face, and just saying, great, welcome aboard. I'm looking forward to partnering with you. We're going to have a lot of fun together, and I'm excited to help you accomplish your financial goals, Mr. Prospect, and be very assumptive. If they're qualified, you've done your job connecting right. Following my 3 simple steps, you realize that if you're going to work today, that person is going to join you. Look, if I was talking directly to you, attempting to sponsor you into my business, I'm telling you right now, if you were qualified, if I liked you, if we had a great connection on the phone together on the first call, maybe the second, third, fourth, fifth call, if we had a good 20-minute conversation, if we had a good conversation over the next 2 weeks, sooner or later, I don't care what it takes, you are going to get started with me in my business, period. Now, some of you may be saying, well, that's a little cocky. It's not. I promise you, it's not about arrogance. It's just about ingredients. It's about a formula. It's about if I have enough understanding and discernment, and if you're qualified, and I like you, and I trust you, and you're the kind of person that I think can work with my team and my business, and you like me and trust me, and and based on knowing the right way to connect, share, and start, I can discern that you're qualified. I can discern that there's a connection there. And then when it comes to doing step number 3, again, it doesn't matter if it's the 2nd call or the 5th call or the 5th month or the 5th year. Whether the timing's right for you now or not, it doesn't matter. Sooner or later, you're going to be mad at your boss. Sooner or later, you're going to get freaking tired of your commute. Sooner or later, you're going to look in the mirror and go, man, I am getting some gray hairs. And I never started that home business that I always thought I would start. Sooner or later, you're going to reach a point financially where you're tired of being where you're at. Sooner or later, I'm going to be there for you. Sooner or later, I'm going to call you again. I'm going to text you again. I'm going to send you an email again. I'm going to uh, knock on your door if you're the qualified person that I know. If I know you're supposed to work with me, I will show up at your door. Now, some of you say, well, you're a stalker. No, I am passionate about transforming lives. I am passionate about the company that I work with when I'm working a business. I am passionate that this industry transforms lives just as good or as good as being at any other personal growth seminar. Even being at a church, it can transform lives. I became a Christian at a business seminar in network marketing. I met my wife at a business seminar in network marketing. Whew. This industry has been feeding my children. This industry has been putting braces on 4 teenagers. This industry has allowed me to travel the world with my wife. This industry helped me from going from someone who graduated with a 1.2 GPA average. My nickname in high school was stupid. No joke. My nickname in high school was stupid. And I could, Kevin Cahall, I could literally think of him calling me stupid throughout the hallway. So what's up, Challan? What's up, stupid? And here's how I used to be. If you can believe this, I'm going to be like I was in 9th grade, 10th grade. What's up, Kevin? I'm not joking. That's how I used to be. Can you believe it? Some of you think, oh, you're such a great speaker. You're such a great trainer. You're such a great sponsor. You're a great network marketer. You've been one of the top network marketers in the industry. Great this and that. Yeah, I grew up with a Hell's Angel kind of a dad in a hardcore biker gang when he grew up. My dad taught me that if I cry, I'm going to put a dress on you. Yeah, I was emotional. I grew up in Hell's Angel bars on the weekends with my dad. I grew up in a crazy environment. I'm just going to save you the time. And for me to think that I'm here speaking on a live, well, not live now, but on this webinar, being one of the top trainers on sponsoring in the network marketing, direct marketing industry, I would thought you were freaking crazy. So why am I saying this? This industry changed my life, and it can change yours, and it can change the people that you have the courage to reach through that phone without pitching them, without bugging them, without throwing up about how great your product is, without having to beg them. You could reach through that phone, say the right words, go through the 5 steps like a pro on sponsoring, and get them started. And guess what? They're going to thank you one day for that. Not everybody, because a lot of people that you sponsor aren't going to do jack. Why? Because they're never going to get over their fear, their doubt, their excuses, and their comfort zone. But you will. And a few people that you sponsor will follow training like this and follow you, and they'll do something as well. And one day you're going to have a success story like Tom Challan, who transformed his life in this faith, family, health, and definitely finances throughout the years. So, what does your best day look like? What does your best day look like? I will tell you your best day looks like where you're super low stress, where you're working very part-time hours. You're sponsoring almost anybody that you want to enroll. You are able to look people in the eyes when they say, what do I do? You can look them in the eyes and say, just do what I do. Do what I did to get you started. I called you, right? Connected. I sent you to a webinar or a presentation or a home party, right? Number 2. And they'll say, yeah. And then I got you started, right? Step number 3, right? And they'll say, yeah, that's what you do. Well, how do I do it? And I'm nervous, and I'm like, that's normal. We'll help you with that. You're not going to be a pro at connecting, sharing, and starting day 1, but you got to start. Follow this training, go through these steps, read these words, don't say that, say that, and again, all the basics that you're going to teach your team through your company training or my training for advanced type, training like the 60-Day Academy that I know you're registered for already, right? And that's what your best day looks like. Your best day looks like you literally can work 2, 3, 4 hours a day max and have more freedom than anybody else in your company. When I was the #1 earner, I can assure you I worked less than almost everybody else in my company. I worked less. My goal was to brag how little I worked. But I was still the #1 sponsor in the company. I was the #1 earner in the company. In the top 10 earners in the company, I had 7 out of 10 were all in my team. Why? Because when you triple your sponsoring, you compound faster than people that have been with your company for 10 years pretending, perfecting this perfect elusive system, perfecting the internet, trying to play around with social media forever, being a spectator in social media instead of an action taker. That's what your best day looks like. That's what helps you go from fear, doubt, worry, excuses to no more. I'm going to be the best that I can be today in my home-based business. All right, so you want to redirect all that energy and time into things that produce results. I'm going to just share this really quickly. Most of you, I know that you're already registered, but if you have anybody on your team, look, if you want duplication, don't try to regurgitate what you're going to learn in the 60-Day Academy. It's just, I've done this for 20 years. I'm a pro at one thing in life. There's one thing I feel like I'm the best in the world at, is sponsoring. I feel like I can, compared to any other leader, trainer, upline, if there's one thing I'm very confident in, is I know how to sponsor almost anybody that I focus on, to the point where I could sponsor 1 to 3. And look, if I wanted to work 5, 6, 7, 8 hours in a day, I could probably sponsor 5, 6, 7 people. I just know the process. I know the leverage. I know how to get qualified people. I know 10 different ways to have unlimited people to talk to. Over the next 2 months, we're going to go over the most comprehensive 7 live. Most of them are webinars. Some of them will be just video or audio, but we're going to go on overcoming the fears, the doubt, the worries, the excuses. We're going to go through methodical ingredients. You will not be able to go through this webinar and say you don't know what to do when it comes to all the ingredients that it takes to be not just good, not just great, but a pro, be the best that you can be with all the ingredients. You're going to know exactly what to say to every prospect niche that we're going to go over. Meeting people out and about, calling professionals, calling leads, generating leads, of course warm market, of course referrals, and all the different ways on social media to not only how to find them, but how to connect with them. Very few people understand the psychology of what's the difference for each niche that you're going to connect with. We're going to break this down over the next 60 days. And of course, how to find qualified prospects, how to be a true professional, and then of course we're going to do weekly accountability, which is going to be probably the most important aspect. Look, I don't do accountability very often, and my wife said, how in the world are we going to do accountability for such a low price with my personal time? And I said, if I was to build a team of 1 million people, that's always been my goal. What would I want my team to go through? I would make it mandatory for them to go through a 60-day academy, sponsor academy, where they're going to go through all the ingredients, but also personal weekly accountability with a coach like myself. I may never do this again, but I wanted to do it one more time at least, and do accountability, because I know how powerful it's been for my duplication mentors that I've worked with in the past. The accountability is everything. Look, a lot of times I didn't listen to every single webinar or conference call that my mentors did, but I knew because there was accountability, I had to perform. I had to step up a little bit more so I can put in my accountability for the week. And just by doing that, it paid, and back then it was over $700, but I knew I would make way more than $700 in the month just because of the accountability coaching alone. But I'm doing something, and I'm telling you, the price of this is going to be $497. If you're watching this right now and it's still available, it's almost sold out. Pretty soon you're going to see a sign that says sold out. As soon as you see sold out, it's done. And literally for the next, it's actually less than 24 hours, because the first class, even though you could register after the class starts because it's 2 months long, you want to get the discount, which is going to end within 24 hours to the point where you're watching this. You still can get it for $347. But to take away the excuses, to make sure you don't make the excuse, or you don't say you don't have the money, you could make 3 payments if you have to. 2 or 3 payment options by clicking the link below, okay, that you're going to have here. Also, you get a free live event ticket. If you want to come meet me personally for an immersion type seminar to go to the next level, we're going to go through how to structure your day in detail. We're going to go through the simple duplication process. We're going to go through next level, higher level type, more advanced type closing strategies, how to build an endless supply of qualified leads. We're going to go deeper with some more advanced strategies. And then one of my favorites is how to build tribes. I've never ever, well, maybe one time, but I've never done it live where we're going to go through how my wife and I can sponsor up to 100 customers by building a niche brand on the internet without being an internet marketing expert. There's ways that you can not talk about your company products and build a community of thriving fans that know you, like you, and trust you before you even connect with them on the phone or text or however you do it. So we're going to show you how we build brands on the internet to attract people and then backdoor them into our product or business with our home-based business that we build. It's been our strategy for the last 4 years. It's new, and it's really, really powerful. So if you sign up for the 60-Day Academy, if you can make it, you're going to get a free ticket that's worth, it's going to be for sale. Just this ticket alone, starting September 1st, is going to be $297. You get this included at no extra cost. So if it's not sold out, go to rock2016.com, rock2016, and you have to put in the promo code, again, until the price goes up. You could put in the promo code of 60-day, 60-day, okay? So go there right now, and we're going to reach out to everyone individually that registers to make sure you're all set up, because it's starting, again, very, very soon. So make sure you register. It starts, if you're watching this, you can make the first class still. It starts September 1st at 5 p.m. And if you miss any of the classes, you will get it recorded and sent to you most likely the very next day. And this is something you want to put in your library. You're going to have access to this next week, next month, and next year. So you can go back, get a refresher. The best way to learn is take action. What did Tom say on class number 3? Go take action, and then go back to learning, listening. Listen, you need the 5 steps on closing. I would go through it not one time when I do this, not 2 times. I know it sounds crazy, but I would listen to the 5 steps on closing 50 times minimum. And I'm telling you, no one does this in network marketing. No one does this in your company. But I'm telling you, you need to if you're going to be an expert at getting good people started, because people are tough. You're dealing with people that have marriage challenges, financial challenges. You're dealing with people that have struggles. So you've got to learn not to be good, but to be the best you can be, and to navigate through people's emotion. So when they come at you with some objections like, is this one of those things? You can overcome it. When they say, oh, I tried one of those things, it didn't work, you can passionately not buckle under fear and pressure and, just say, okay, and get off the phone. No. Passionate, purpose-driven people that care about people, that want to transform people's lives, you're not going to blow in the wind with some objections or questions that your prospect has anymore. Join me in the 60-Day Academy. I can assure you with extreme certainty that you will get results if you take action. And don't just go and listen to it half-heartedly. Close down your phone, close down your social media, and engage with me for about 1 hour per week over the next September and October. And if you haven't done so, or you haven't got your team members into it, you need to send this to your team ASAP. And let me just share one thing about what I used to do. I used to do this with my mentor, and I used to get accused of over-promoting training. And people used to say, you must be getting paid from that trainer. And I was not. I had no financial incentive to promote mentors and trainers that I used. And I went to 50 live seminars in a row. I spent over $1,000 a month minimum going to seminars and events because I knew when I go home every month, within about 2 or 3 weeks, I would be kind of off, kind of going into la la land. And I knew just by getting on a plane that I trust me, after a while, I did not want to get back on a plane away from my 4 babies and my wife. She didn't go every single month with me. After a while, I did not want to go to training anymore. I was kind of done with it, to be honest. But every month when I would go, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go another month. And if you want to know how I had my best day ever, my best year ever, which is like literally record breaking in our industry, is because I stayed refined. Now, does this mean you have to go to a seminar every month? No. But at least listen to the Sponsoring Academy live or go through the recordings, depending on when you're getting this right now. And I would go through it over and over. So if you want duplication, when your people say, oh, I can't afford this 60-day academy, I'm telling you, those are the people that most likely, if they don't find a way to go to a garage sale or sell something or find a way to invest, if they do not find a way to invest into something like this that will give them fruit, that will collapse time frames, that's not just a regular network marketing getting started training, but this is very strategic for new people. It's strategic for people that want to triple, quadruple, maybe even 10 times their sponsoring. It's perfect for that. You need to be unstoppable and persistent and say, hey, look, I know you said you can't afford it, but there's a 3-pay option. I'm telling you, you've got to get yourself into this thing. It'll change your life. So I'm looking forward to those of you that stepped up. I know most of you have already signed up for this. There is limited seating in Chicago. There's limited seating for all the bonuses. So if it's sold out, it's sold out. But if you're watching this and you click the link and it's still available, good job. I'll see you in the 60-day academy on September. Or again, even if you are past the date, if you're not, for whatever reason, you just saw this for the first time past the date, you still get all the recordings and you can catch all the future live ones. Even if you get it mid-September, it's still going to be worth getting the 60-day academy. All right, God bless you. See you in the first class. Make sure you register right now. Bye-bye.